Good morning, it's Wild Hair Day. Today's Bible reading is 2 Samuel, chapter 5, verses 1 through 16, 1 Chronicles, chapters 11 and 12. So let's get into it. And this one might be a little harder to go through with the message. Sometimes you don't quite get the actual verses. Might be 16-ish to 17. But I think it ends at 16 on this one. All right. Before long, all the tribes of Israel approached David in Hebron and said, "Look at us, your own flesh and blood. In time past, when Saul was our king, you were the one who really ran the country, even when God said to you, 'You will shepherd my people Israel, and you'll be the prince.' All the leaders of Israel met with King David at Hebron, and the king made a treaty with them in the presence of God. And so they anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he became king, and he ruled for 40 years. In Hebron, he ruled Judah for 7.5 years. In Jerusalem, he ruled all Israel and Judah for 33 years. David and his men immediately set out for Jerusalem to take on the Jebusites who lived in that country. But they said, "You might as well go home. Even the blind and lame could keep you out. You can't get in here." They had convinced themselves that David couldn't break through. But David went right ahead and captured the fortress of Zion, known ever since as the City of David. That day, David said, "To get the best of these Jebusites, one must target the water system, not to mention this so-called lame and blind bunch that David hates." In fact, he was so sick and tired of it, people coined the expression, "No lame and blind allowed in the palace." David made the fortress city his home and named it the City of David. He developed the city from the outside terraces inward. David proceeded with a longer stride, a larger embrace, since the God of the angel armies was with him. It was at this time that Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David along with timbers of cedar. He also sent carpenters and masons to build a house for David. David took this as a sign that God had confirmed him as king of Israel, giving his kingship world prominence for the sake of Israel, his people. David took on more concubines and wives from Jerusalem after he left Hebron, and more sons and daughters were born to him. These are the names of those born to him in Jerusalem: Shemua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, Eliphalet. That is it for that portion. Let's move on to 1 Chronicles. Then all Israel assembled before David at Hebron. "Look at us," they said. "We're your very flesh and blood. In the past, yes, even while Saul was king, you were the real leader of Israel. God told you, 'You will shepherd my people Israel. You are to be the ruler of my people Israel.'" When all the leaders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, David made a covenant with them in the presence of God at Hebron. Then they anointed David king over Israel, exactly as God commanded through Samuel. David and all Israel went to Jerusalem. It was the old Jebus, where the Jebusites lived. The citizens of Jebus told David, "No trespassing. You can't come here." David came on anyway and captured the fortress of Zion, city of David. David had said, "The first person to kill a Jebusite will be commander-in-chief." Joab, son of Zeruiah, was the first, and he became the chief. David took up residence in the fortress city. That's how it got its name, City of David. David fortified the city all the way around, both the outer bulwarks, the Milo, and the outside wall. Joab rebuilt the city gates. David's stride became longer, his embrace larger. Yes, God of the angel armies was with him. These are the chiefs of David's mighty men, the ones who linked arms with him as he took up his kingship, with all Israel joining in, helping him become king in just the way God had spoken. Regarding Israel, the list of David's mighty men. Jashobeam, son of Hakmani, was chief of the 30. Single-handedly, he killed 300 men, killed them all in one skirmish. Next was Eleazar, son of Dodai, the Ahohite, one of the big three of the mighty men. He was with David at Pas-dammim, where the Philistines had mustered their troops for battle. It was an area where there was a field of barley. The army started to flee from the Philistines and then took its stand right in that field and turned the tide. They slaughtered the Philistines, God helping them, a huge victory. The big three from the 30 made a rocky descent to David at the cave of Adullam, while a company of Philistines was camped in the valley of Rephaim. David was holed up in the cave while the Philistines were prepared for battle at Bethlehem. David had a sudden craving. What I wouldn't give for a drink of water from the well in Bethlehem, the one at the gate. The three penetrated the Philistine camp, drew water from the well at the Bethlehem gate, shouldered it, and brought it to David. And then David wouldn't drink it. He poured it out as a sacred offering to God, saying, "I'd rather be damned by God than drink this. It would be like drinking the lifeblood of these men. They risked their lives to bring it." So he refused to drink it. These are the kinds of things that the big three, the mighty men, did. Abishai, brother of Joab, was the chief of the 30. Single-handedly, he fought 300 men and killed the lot, but he never made it into the circle of the three. He was highly honored by the 30. He was their chief. Still, he didn't measure up to the three. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, was a mighty man, Kabzeel, with many exploits to his credit. He killed 2 famous Moabites, climbed down into a pit and killed a lion on a snowy day, and he killed an Egyptian, a giant 7.5 feet tall. The Egyptian had a spear like a ship's boom, but Benaiah went at him with a mere club, tore the spear from the Egyptian's hand, and killed him with it. These are some of the things that Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, did. But he was never included with the three. He was highly honored among the 30, but didn't measure up to the three. David put him in charge of his personal bodyguard. The mighty men of the military were Asahel, brother of Joab, Elhanan, son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shema, the Hararite, Helez, the Pelonite, Ira, son of Ikkesh, the Teokite, Abiezer, the Anathothite, Sibbecai, the Hushathite, Eli, the Ahohite, Maharai, the Netophathite, Heled, son of Bana, the Netophathite, Hittai, son of Rabbi from Gibeah of the Benjamite, Benaiah of the Anathothonite, Hurai from the ravines of Gash, Abiel the Arpathite, Asmaveth, the Bahuramite, Eliabah the Shalbonite, sons of Heshem the Gizonite, Jonathan son of Shagi the Hararite, Ahiam son of Sakar of Haranite, Eliaphal son of Hefer the Mecharathite, Ahijah the Belonite, Ezro the Carmelite, Nahral son of Ezbai, Joel brother of Nathan, Mibhar son of Hagri, Zelek the Ammonite, Naharai the Beerothite, the armor-bearer of Joab the son of Zeruiah, it's a hard word to pronounce, folks, sorry. Ira the Ithrite, Gareb the Ithrite, Uriah the Hittite, Zabad son of Ahli, Adina son of Shisa the Reubenite chief of the 30, Hanan son of Makkah, Jehoshaphat the Mithnite, Uzziah the Ashtarite, Shammah and Jael the sons of Hotham the Ararite, Jediel son of Zimri, Johah the Tizite his brother, Eliel the Moabite, Jerebiah and Joshaviah, the sons of Elnaim, Ithma the Moabite, Eliel, Obed, and Jaziel the Mozabite. I think it's Biite. Again, hard words. These are the men who joined David in Ziklag. It was during this time he was banished by Saul the son of Kish. They were among the mighty men, good fighters. They were armed with bows and could sling stones and shoot arrows, either right or left-handed. They hailed from the Saul's tribe, Benjamin. The first was Ahiezer, then Joash son of Shammai, the Gibeathite, Jeziel and the Pelet, the sons of Asmaveth, Barakah, Jehu the Anathothite, Ishmaiah the Gibeonite, a mighty man among the 30, a leader of the 30, Jeremiah, Jahaziel, Johanan, Jozabad, the Gederathite, Elazai, Jerimoth, Bealiah, Shemariah, Shephatiah the Haruphite, Elkanah, Ishiah, Azarel, Joazir, Jashobim, the Korahites, and Jolah and the Zebediah, the sons of Jeroham from Gedor. There were some Gadites there who had defected to David at his wilderness fortress. They were seasoned and eager fighters who knew how to handle shield and spear. They were wild in appearance, like lions, but as agile as gazelles racing across the hills. Ezer was the first, then Obadiah, Eliab, Mishmana, Jeremiah, Hattiah, Elilil, Johanan, Elzabad, Jeremiah, and Machbani. 11 of them, or Machbani. These Gadites were the cream of the crop. Any one of them was worth 100 lesser men, and the best of them were worth 1,000. They were the ones who crossed the Jordan when it was at flood stage in the first month, and put everyone in the lowlands to flight, both east and west. There were also men from the tribes of Benjamin and Judah who joined David in his wilderness fortress. When David went out to meet them, this is what he said: "If you have come in peace and to help me, you are most welcome to join this company. But if you have come to betray me to my enemies, innocent as I am, the God of our ancestors will see through you and bring judgment on you." Just then Amasai, chief of the 30, moved by God's Spirit, said, "We're on your side, O David. We're committed, O son of Jesse. All is well, yes, all is well with you, and all's well with whoever helps you. Yes, for your God has helped and does help you." So David took them on and assigned them a place under the chiefs of the raiders. Some from the tribe of Manasseh also defected to David when he started out with the Philistines to go to war against Saul. In the end, they didn't actually fight because the Philistine leaders, after talking it over, sent them home, saying, "We can't trust them with our lives. They'll betray us to their master Saul." The men from Manasseh who defected to David at Ziklag were Adnah, Jozabad, Jediel, Michael, Jozabad, Elihu, and Zillathiah, all leaders among the families of Manasseh. They helped David in his raids against the desert bandits. They were all stalwart fighters and good leaders among his raiders. Hardly a day went by without men showing up to help. It wasn't long before his band seemed as large as God's own army. Here are the statistics on the battle-seasoned warriors who came down from the north to David at Hebron to hand over Saul's kingdom, in accord with God's word. From Judah, carrying shield and spear, 6,800 battle-ready. From Simeon, 7,100 stalwart fighters. From Levi, 4,600, which included Jehoiada, leader of the family of Aaron, bringing 3,700 men, and the young and stalwart Zadok, with 22 leaders from his family. From Benjamin, Saul's family, 3,000, most of whom had stuck it out with Saul until now. From Ephraim, 20,800 fierce fighters and famous in their hometowns. From the half-tribe of Manasseh, 18,000 elected to come and make David king. From Issachar, men who understood both the times and Israel's duties. 200 leaders with their families. From Zebulun, 50,000 well-equipped veteran warriors, unswervingly loyal. From Naphtali, 1,000 chiefs leading 37,000 men, heavily armed. From Dan, 28,600 battle-ready men. From Asher, 40,000 veterans, battle-ready. And from the east of the Jordan, men from Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, heavily armed, 120,000. All these soldiers came to David at Hebron, ready to fight if necessary. They were both united and determined to make David king over all Israel. And everyone else in Israel was of the same mind. Make David king. They were with David for 3 days of feasting, celebration, with food and drink supplied by their families. Neighbors ranging from as far north as Issachar, Zebulun, and Naphtali arrived with donkeys, camels, mules, and oxen loaded down with food for the party. Flour, fig cakes, raisin cakes, wine, oil, cattle, and sheep. Joy in Israel. And that is it for today's Bible reading. As always, get in touch with God today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.